Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I want to take a look at some Pokemon cards, specifically Zapdos in the original illustration. So this card actually holds a special place in my heart. When I was a kid, back in 1999, this was the first holographic card I pulled, and ever since then, I've been in love with it. Unfortunately, this is not the original card I pulled back in 1999. I'm not exactly sure what happened to that card. But what I try to do is go ahead and collect every card that featured this illustration on it. They're all in pretty mint condition, some PSA cards, some just loose cards. But I want to go over them with you. Haven't seen many videos like this on YouTube. Just kind of go over the history a bit of Zapdos. And it means a lot to me, so I kind of want to share it with the world. So this design was actually created by Ken Sugimori. He's the original illustrator, did a fantastic job. As you can see, Zapdos looks great, especially in the holographic form. But the first time Zapdos is featured in this illustration actually goes back to either 1995 or 1997. So this is a Topsun card. These cards were originally found in combination with a packet of gum, which is pretty funny. You got a piece of gum, and you also got two Topsun cards. So this card says that it came out in 1995, but a lot of people believe it actually did not come out until 1997. There are various reasons why people say this. I'll include links below, kind of talking about arguments for both. But because this has 1995 written on it, I'll consider this to be the first time it is featured. This card actually came out in two versions: a blueback, which is, as you can see here, it's a blueback. I believe the writing here says Topsun, but I don't speak Japanese, so I'm not 100% sure what it says. But two versions, a blueback and a greenback. I currently only have this blueback version, but I do have a greenback arriving in about 2 weeks, coming from Japan, so I'm excited to get that in my collection. This one is pretty minty, but there are some stains, some brown spots that I'm not able to get out, so I might not send it to the PSA. But definitely looks fantastic. This was a non-holographic version. They came out later with a holographic prism style Topsun card, but the illustration was actually slightly different, so I don't consider that to be part of this original illustration collection. But the next cards, which honestly are widely recognized as the first release of Pokemon cards ever, was actually by Bandai. They released a series of Carddass Pokemon cards. They had 4 different parts, part 1 through part 4, which all featured different Pokemon. The original illustration of Zapdos was actually only in part 1 and part 2. I know part 3 and 4 had another Zapdos, but it did look slightly different, so I'm not going to include that in this collection. But green cards were part 1. So as you can see here, beautiful card, nice holographic prism style card. You have Zapdos here with some writing at the bottom. I believe that says Zapdos, and number 145, which was the original number for Japanese Pokemon cards. Beautiful card. This one is pretty minty. On the back, you also have some, a sprite of Zapdos with various information. Again, you can see card number 145. I don't know much about these cards, but they are the original illustration. They might have come out of a vending machine in Japan, but I'm not too sure, to be honest. Part 2 featured same cards, but a red version, as you can see here. This one is in a little bit better condition than my green one, so I think I'll send this one to the PSA to get it graded. As you can see, similar back over here. I didn't mention these cards did come out in 1996, and that's pretty confirmed. So if the Topsun card did come out in 97, then these would technically be the first time we see this illustration of Zapdos. But again, people go back and forth, they're not very sure. But either way, quite a long time ago, but a very, very nice illustration. So, before we jump into the mainline Pokemon sets of cards, there were 2 cards that came out with this illustration that were quite unique. This card right here, this was part of the Meiji series back in Japan, and the funny thing is it came out in a chocolate box. So you bought a box of chocolates, and then you got a Pokemon card. I believe these were only available for 1 year in 1997, but they're quite rare. This one is in very good condition. I'm considering sending this to the PSA. The centering on the back is a little bit off, but besides that, it looks great. You have the original illustration here and a very cool card overall. Then in 1999, Meiji did another round of embossed Pokemon cards. So this one has more of the horizontal design. It is textured and embossed, which is really nice. This card is in great condition, and when they're graded like a PSA 9 or PSA 10, they're actually quite valuable. I'm not sure if this one came out with a chocolate card, in a chocolate box as well, but it's also made by Meiji. But this one came out in 1999. But this is a very, very pretty card, quite unique. You don't see many cards like this anymore, but you do have the original illustration there as well with Thunder written right next to it. So now we jump into the mainline series of cards. So the first time we see Zapdos in a traditional, trading card game, it was in 1996. We had this, the base set equivalent in Japan, which was, I believe, considered the expansion set. Not exactly sure. But this was the original Zapdos card. So you can see nice holographic. This one is a PSA 8. Picked this up a little while ago. I had a PSA 9 back in the day, but ended up selling it. Not exactly sure why. I felt like I just didn't need that one in my collection. I kind of regret that now since these prices have skyrocketed, but this is still a very, very pretty card. It's in fantastic condition. You get the old Pocket Monster back. That was changed to just Pokemon, a different version for Japan, but still it's a very pretty card. One thing I didn't mention is that all my cards are either the Japanese equivalent or the English equivalent. I know different countries had different, Zapdos, I believe Spain, France, Germany, they all have their own versions. I don't have those in my collection. I may include them one day, but this will just be Japanese and English cards. But yeah, this is a very, very pretty card. PSA 8 came out in 1996, card number 145. And this is the first time we really see this illustration in a mainline, competitive style trading card game. So, next we go to, the English versions. And the crown jewel really in my collection is this PSA 8 Zapdos First Edition English card. Let me get into focus for you. These are getting quite rare. First edition, shadowless, obviously, which all the first conditions came in. Beautiful card. This is something I've always wanted in my collection. I hope to get a PSA 10 one day, but those are going for about 14,000 right now, which is pretty wild. The PSA 8s are still pretty affordable. I was able to pick one up earlier this year. Really wanted one in my collection, and don't see myself ever giving this up for quite some time until maybe I get a PSA 9 or PSA 10. But beautiful card here, first edition Zapdos. Definitely the crown jewel of my collection. So for the base set series, in American and English, there were actually different versions of this card. So we have the first edition card, which was the first run that ever came out, but the second printing series were considered the shadowless series. So they dropped the first edition symbol, but they kept the same shadowless boundaries. So if I pull the Japanese card here, you can see that there is this shadow that goes around the border. That was dropped for the English series for the first editions, and then for a limited run after the first edition. So this is still considered a shadowless. This is a PSA 8, and this was the run right after the first edition. So this PSA 8, honestly, I am not sure how this one did receive a PSA 8. It's not in the best condition. There's whitening on the corners all around. I don't know if PSA just wasn't as strict with this one. But still, I am happy that it's here in my collection. I may end up selling it at some point, and the reason for that is that I actually do have two shadowless loose cards in very good condition. So again, you can see missing the shadow there, and this one is really minty. Sorry for the reflection. Nearly no whitening can be found, maybe a little bit in this corner. The centering is pretty good on this one as well, so I'm hoping this gets at least a PSA 9. I will be sending these into the BSA fairly soon, so look forward to getting that back from them. And then the second one I have is also in great condition, also shadowless. This centering is not as great on this one. You can see that it's a little bit wider over here compared to this side. The back also in great condition. A little bit of whitening here at the top, but I'm pretty confident this should be able to get at least a PSA 9. So when I get these back, I might end up selling that PSA 8. I don't need that many in my collection, but these are some of my favorite cards after, obviously, the first edition. So then we move into the standard base set. After the shadowless versions came out, the next run did incorporate the shadow back into it. So these are more just the unlimited series. These were produced quite a bit. This was actually the first version I got when I was a kid. I didn't end up getting the first edition or the shadowless, but these are all in great condition. So I'm going to send this one up to the PSA as well, get it graded. I'm expecting at least a PSA 9 for this. Looks really good. I also have another loose card right here, also in fantastic minty condition. This one has a little bit of whitening here at the bottom, and the centering is a bit off. So maybe a PSA 8, but this one's also, in great shape. I do have a PSA 9 already of this card. Had this for quite some time. No different than the others really, in great condition. A tiny bit of whitening in the corners, which I believe was the reason why I got a PSA 9. But I'll definitely be keeping this for quite some time. It's in great condition, and definitely something I want to have in my collection. So after base set in 1999, the next run of Pokemon cards was actually base set 2. What they did, they incorporated various cards from the original base set as well as Fossil, and then they created this hybrid version called base set 2. So I actually do have a Beckett graded 9 base set 2. In terms of the way the cards look, base set 2 is my favorite. The holographic sparkle is way more prominent than base set 1. It's more on par with the Japanese version 96, but it's a lot shinier, looks a lot better. Definitely one of my favorites. These are starting to go up in value. Base set obviously is where it's at right now, but base set 2 is picking up in popularity. This one, subgrades, centering is a 9.5, and the rest are all 9s, but definitely in great condition. So really happy to have this in my collection. Have a little bit of whitening here in this corner, which I believe was the reason it got docked. May get it regraded with PSA, but I doubt it would pull a PSA 10. So probably just keep it as is. Happy to have this in my collection. I also do have a loose base set 2 card as well. This one is in fantastic shape. I'm planning on sending this into the PSA as well. Next to no whitening, maybe here a little bit at the bottom, but not bad. Depending on how strict they are, maybe a 10. But I'm expecting like a 9. So looking forward to getting that back. PSA is backed up quite a bit. Might take a few months to get these back, but yeah, base set 2 definitely one of my favorite cards. So after base set 2, Pokemon released the Legendary Collection in 2002, and this incorporated again the same illustration of Zapdos, little bit a different style holographic. They really went back to the base set style holographic. You can see the marking here also indicates that it is the Unlimited series. Again, a beautiful card. This one is in pretty good condition. Some whitening at the top and on the corners, like right here. I may send this one with PSA. Have not decided just yet. But again, this one came out in 2002. Very, very pretty card. I have one more Unlimited series. This one actually is in really good shape. So definitely we'll be sending this into the PSA. Again, same card overall, but next to no whitening. A little bit here in the corner, but I expect this to get a PSA 9 with ease. Maybe a PSA 8 if they're super strict, but I believe it'll be a PSA 9. So one cool thing that Pokemon did for the Legendary Collection is they released a series of reverse holo Pokemon cards. And this is the reverse holo Zapdos card. It is one of the most beautiful cards I've ever seen. This reverse holo gives the impression that it's like fireworks exploding and changing colors, and it's very pretty and very rare to get in good condition. Right now, these PSA 9, PSA 10 are selling for well over $1,000. I was really lucky to grab this recently for, I think I got a combo of the standard legendary and this one for $80, which is pretty wild because these cards loose in this condition sell for, you know, well over $150. So really excited to have this in my collection. Can't see myself selling it for quite some time. I will definitely be getting this PSA graded, expecting probably an 8 or a 9. A little bit of whitening here in this corner and that corner, but even with a PSA 8, I would be pretty happy. But this was the one thing that the Legendary Collection did differently, is introduce these pretty amazing reverse holographic fireworks style cards. So going past this, we didn't see the original illustration for many years. You know, Zapdos adapted to different designs. You know, it's a very prominent character in the trading card universe. But in 2016, Pokemon decided to do a rerun of their base set series. Essentially, they took most of the cards from base set, reprinted them in 2016, and had another round of cards. So this is the expansion pack 20th anniversary. So it is the direct, you know, rerun of the original 1996 expansion pack. As you can see, they look nearly identical. The power and HP ranges have changed to make them more up with the times. So you can see 90 over there on the Japanese one versus 110 here. And the design is just slightly different, but, you know, same original illustration by Ken Sugimori. So this is a beautiful card. This one I will be getting PSA graded. I expect this to come back at 10. I mean, it is in perfect condition. These don't sell that much right now. As a PSA 10, you can probably get one for 150 bucks, 200 bucks. But still, beautiful card. I think these will hold their value quite well. This is considered a first edition, but I don't believe that provides any value. These might have all been first editions. Japanese cards are weird like that. They have first edition on, you know, on many cards. But yeah, beautiful card. I'm happy to have this. I do have another one coming in the mail as well. Not sure why I bought two, but I will have we'll have two of these. Moving past that, they also introduced another reverse holographic Zapdos card in the Evolutions line in 2016. The Evolutions line was the English version of the base set rerun, but this is the first time we see this type of reverse holo. You know, it's really pretty. They're not worth that much, but, you know, looks good. Happy to have this. We'll be getting this one graded as well. Centering a little bit off, and a little bit of whitening here, but still, it's in very good condition and a very pretty card. The last cards to go over are essentially the rerun of the original base set. So this is the Evolutions, again, Evolutions line in 2016. I have two cards, two loose cards that are the Evolution line, both in fantastic shape. Look to the back, you know, next to no whitening on either of these, maybe a little bit in the corner. But these are much newer cards, 2016, so can't expect them to get damaged that much. We'll be getting these graded as well, but they are very pretty, and they still feature the original type holographic style that you see. Actually, it might be a little bit shinier than the original base set. Let's take a look. So, these cards keep falling. This is the original. Get this in focus. The original holographic, you know, not much shine, and then you have this one. Yeah, definitely is a bit more shine to that. So very pretty cards. Let me put these back up. And lastly, I actually do have two graded cards from the Evolution series. So we have this. Focus. This Beckett 9 holographic. Not worth that much. Pick this up for 40 or 50 bucks. We'll keep this for a while, see if they appreciate it, then may end up selling it. Depending on how the other cards come back graded, I definitely don't need this many graded Evolutions line Zapdos. And then lastly, I also have a PSA 9 Evolutions Zapdos card. So these are all really pretty. Love these cards a lot, love this design a lot, and I'm happy to be able to share with you guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Happy to answer them. If I said something incorrectly, let me know. Or if I'm missing cards that feature this illustration as well, please let me know. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed this video.